board meeting of April 15th, 2025, 7 p.m. Sharon, lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll wait for you to sit down. All right. Board, when speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you're heard clearly for YouTube streaming. And I request that citizens who speak to adjust the height and stand close to the microphone. There will be 2 opportunities for citizen comments. I will be requesting individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections and would appreciate everyone keeping their points concise. I've been somewhat flexible in my conducting citizen comments, but will go back and enforce the Township Policy 2.5E3 and 2.6C. Individuals are not allowed to speak on a subject matter more than once. During the first citizen comment section, comments should be related to the items on the agenda only. The second citizen comment section shall relate to any other matters unrelated to the agenda items. Citizen comments pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. In addition, during board discussion or deliberations, citizens are not to interrupt the procedures of the board. The chair may call upon a citizen during either of these sections. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. Citizen comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. To respect everyone's time, I strongly urge the board not to respond to public comments, but address them in the board comments section. Sometimes this is difficult, but this is not a debating stage between citizens and the board. I've been guilty of doing this, and I will be more watchful of my actions. We have township business to conduct, and it's required that we do so effectively. If there needs to be a follow-up from the board, I will direct the appropriate person to reach out to that individual. The documents on the website are aligned to the items of the agenda. These are draft documents to provide background information only. Just to be clear, motions were drafted to help the board more quickly get to the final wording and vote on the respective motions. The final motion may look different to reflect the actual action taken by the board. Board, moving on to the next item. Are there any changes to the minutes to the regular board meeting of March 18th, 2025?
I have none.
None? Andy? None? All right.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March 18th, 2025 as presented to the board.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting March 18th, 2025. Any further discussion regarding the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is the approval of the agenda. I'm sorry, correspondence and announcements. Mary?
No, we don't have any correspondence or announcements. No.
All right.
No.
Then the next item is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
I have none.
None.
Andy?
None.
Jason? All right.
Well, actually, a minor thing. It says future meetings and hearings. It says a planning commission meeting on Monday, the 20th. There is not one,
All right.
but it's not really an agenda item per se.
No, but it's point of clarification on the agenda. All right.
That one's canceled?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I make the motion that the agenda be accepted as presented with changes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mary. It's moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted as presented with changes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. All right, we move on to the next item. Citizen comment. If anyone has comments related to board agenda items. Mary, do we have any that stated it was related to
No.
the board? All right. Then the rest of the comments will be taken at the second comment section.
What about Jemai?
I'm sorry,
Second.
second.
You
It's
said
not-
second.
It's all about
This is
whatever
all
the
related to
items
the
are.
agenda.
Right.
They don't have any,
Yep.
Was there a poem in there?
I'm sorry?
Rubing?
but that's for the second comment.
Oh, okay.
All right. Next item is for the consent agenda. Anybody wish to pull anything out of the reports?
I do not.
All right, hearing nothing. Therefore, all other reports are accepted by consent. Next item is special reports. Andy?
So as mentioned earlier, the planning commission meeting schedule for next week is canceled. The zoning administrator is preparing kind of introductory draft sections of the master plan, at least from a structural perspective.
Yep.
And also has preparing a proposal for how to run the process of preparing the master plan. So that was on the docket for the May meeting. They will be ready to present that. So it should be a very productive May meeting, but we will not be ready for that in April. And there's no other items to cover, so it's canceled.
Are they going to have anything for a recreation plan? Will that be part of?
Yes,
whole
that will be
plan?
part of it,
All
absolutely.
right. Mary, any FOIAs?
FOIA, we had one. We had one from Applied Environmental, and it was for the Eastport Market property. And we were able to provide information from the fire department and the assessor. And they were quite lengthy, so I did not print those. But I do have the email here between the FOIA, the person requesting the FOIA and our correspondence, if anybody's interested in seeing that.
Okay, very good. The financial review, we completed our fiscal year 2024-2025 in a strong financial position. As I have indicated in the past, any questions regarding the financials can be directed either to myself or the clerk's office. All funds performed well as we ended up with favorability to the budget of $292,338. This favorability was generated through lower expenses of $157,000, driven by the general fund, the road fund, and the ambulance fund. Revenue was also favorable to budget by $135,222, and that was driven by the general fund, fire, and ambulance funds. Ending cash improved $385,000 over March 31st, 2024. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or the clerk's office. We have no old business to be concerned with. New business, we have 2 items. I asked Virginia to show up tonight, but Rita, you may be, since you're on the park committee, you may be able to provide some background information on the 2 contracts. We'll take your time. So the Day Park Committee is recommending that we hire a Nico again. I'm interested in your input. You've had a chance to see the 2 contracts. Let me know your thoughts.
You want me to start? I can start.
Sure.
I was here the day Aniko tossed her contract in the drop box and didn't come in or anything. So I opened it up and distributed it to the park and Bob. But I also sat in the interview with this number 2, Tiara, that I pronounce her name. I was very, very impressed with her. She had a lot of good qualities. She had a lot of good comments. She was young, and I thought she did an excellent job. She did go down to the park with Bob Hawkins to look things over. And during that interview with Bob Hawkins and I, and Bob did state in the interview time that he would be working, that she would be working with Bob as the contact person if need be, anything special down there too. So her bid comes in lower, and it's a monthly payment versus more, I guess, on this one here. So I was just really, really impressed with her. So that's my comments, and if anyone has any questions about that interview, I could try to help.
Well, Rita's thought.
It's not monthly, I mean, they're paid for cleaning service. So if someone comes in like during the holidays, they'll come in twice a day. So contracts are the same, so.
Understand.
They come in twice a day, so it's not like they're paid on a monthly basis, because if it rains, nobody's gonna be there. So it's not like it's a monthly contract, they are paid when they're there.
They're paid, their payment to them is monthly. The payment to Anaco is paid every 15 days. So that's where you and I are not on the same level there. Okay, well, I'm just saying that this was monthly, this was every 15 days. But in the past, Anaco showed up whether it rained or not. She was there every single day, even if it was storming. So I see that she has changed her contract from her original one. And I don't know when that happened, because this is not the original contract that came in originally. So I'm not sure how that all happened in between there.
Have the original.
That change came after, after the day part meeting met. So I know that you and Mr. Hawkins had an interview. But then the day part committee had a special meeting, we told the special meeting on the website, public to attend, to discuss the 2 contracts. And what they decided is that Mr. Hawkins would be the point of contact. Is that
Oh, there we go. Okay. So Mr. Hawkins would be the part of contact. So Anaco or whomever the cleaning person would be, they do not come if it's raining.
So that's a change. That will be a change on her contract compared to past years.
I don't know if she did that the past years, but if,
No,
They shouldn't be-
she got paid for whether it rained or not.
well, she got paid if she was cleaning the restrooms, because if the restrooms were filthy, then she was there to clean the restrooms.
The discussion, because I sat in on that discussion, I think the discussion is that Bob Hawkins is going to communicate with whomever we agree. I have it on.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Mm-mm.
Well, maybe it's a bad mic. How's that? Is that better?
Mhm.
It was agreed that Bob Hawkins would be responsible for contacting whoever it is we contract this for as to whether or not they should come in for cleaning or not. So that's part of both of the
That's brand new
contracts.
then.
Yes, it's, what you have is the current contract that is being presented to us to review, and it is different from the original one that she sent in.
Yes,
Now-
based on the day park committee's review of the
Right.
contract. So this is the recommendations that the day park then went back as an advisory to the board.
Okay, did the advisory board go back and look at the other contract to look at any changes that might be in comparison to be
Yes, they did.
equal?
Yes, we did.
to change
So
one
you
versus
reached
the
out
other.
to Tiara and went over her contract as well, like you did with Eneco?
Mr. Hawkins is the one that reached out to Aneco because there really was no other changes to above and beyond cleaning. Because the two contracts are basically the same.
No, well, okay, yes. The first contract that we got from Eneco was not the same. And I did get to see that. And then when I opened up the board packet a couple days ago and saw that it was completely different and almost the same as Tiara's, I was a little surprised by that because anytime I've done a job, you put in your bid and that's your bid. So you don't usually get to take a look at the other bid and then change your bid to be just like that. So I was a little concerned about that.
Well, I beg to differ because there's not substantial changes to the contracts. If you read the contracts, they're both supplying all the materials. The only thing that was changed was the dates. And then the dates that Mr., hang on, I haven't finished.
Sorry.
And that Mr. Hawkins is the point of contact. Those were the substantial changes. So I'm not sure what you're saying, the differences in the, if you can tell me specifically what the
Specifically that
difference is.
she did not state in the first one that she would only, that it would be variant on weather. She did not state that. And Sharon said that she in the past has always charged for all the days, whether it was needed it or not. So that wasn't part of that original one. And then it was absolutely written into the new one.
Well, I believe her contract also says the same thing. Above and beyond is also saying weather. So either case, they're both talking about they're only going to charge when they clean.
Correct.
So the difference between the contracts is simply numbers.
But it wasn't with the original contract.
But this
That
is-
wasn't the only difference in the original contract. So,
Such
so you-
as?
So she changed her contract to be just like this other contract.
No, we did not change the contract to meet the other contract. That is not what the Day Park Committee did. We did not, Mary, we did not sit side by side between the contracts and say, okay, we're going to make these the same. That is not what happened. We had the discussion on Aneco, and then we had the discussion about above and beyond. And we said, this is what we need from Aneco. We need it to be weather related. It needs to be, the dates need to be changed because last year it was, her time was extended into September. So there was no side-by-side comparison to say that we were going to meet the same.
Okay. I'm just saying they look very similar and I don't agree with resubmitting a bid on behalf of Eneco. This was written by Eneco and this doesn't appear to have been. So
The
that's my
other,
opinion.
the other thing would be, it says on the current contract, it says start on May 1. According to the schedule, it starts on May 16th. So there are some discrepancies in this contract that should be cleaned up if that's the case also.
Well, they both state May 1st.
But this schedule goes with the Eneco one, correct?
So
You would
this,
go with both of them.
It would go with both of them?
it would go for either this one here then.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the board, we can probably work on the contract language depending upon which one that you prefer, assuming that the critical aspects are similar, the rates are different. Let's have a discussion on the individuals, because that's really what's, in a way, that's really what's critical is the individual and what kind of job they're going to do, understanding what that day park at times looks like. So I open it up.
So question, so what does the Day Park Committee recommend? Or are you not making recommendations?
You're recommending Aneco.
They are.
We're recommending Aneco because she has been there for a few years.
Gotcha.
And I can get very graphic about the things that she's had to deal with in the restrooms. And it's pretty disgusting. And she has no issues, coming back and doing it again. She's there timely, she's efficient, she's very good about cleaning the disgusting things that the people have left behind in those restrooms.
Thank you.
And that, oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, both you and Mary have feedback from above and beyond cleaning. Why don't you share that with the board?
Yeah, that's how Tiara was aware of this, is because she takes care of a few of my clients. I have my own business. We have 60-something clients, 90% of them are on the lake. She takes care of quite a few of them. They love her. She does a great job. She goes out of her way. She's taking them to the grocery store. She's taking them to their doctor's appointments. Does a great job cleaning. I had a lady tell me the other day that she caught Tiara taking apart the toilet seat and scrubbing underneath the toilet seat in her bathroom. So she does a good job. I know Aniko does a good job. I take care of the day park maintenance or the grounds. The bathrooms are always clean. So nothing against Aniko, other than I do know in the past years, there's been a lot of drama with her. So, and I do want to touch, I kind of want to put my 2 cents in on the bid as far as what's the point of getting more bids if we're just going to take this one and tweak it? What was the day park looking for if we were accepting more bids? What would have been the difference to get the day park to change their mind? I guess I don't know why we put it out for bids if they were going to take this one bid and tweak it. Because I did see the original contract, and they're really, really similar, but Aniko's was a little different, and it's changed. So I've done bids. In the 21 years of my business, I've put bids out for my clients on landscaping, and I look at them and we decide which the best one. We don't tweak them. We don't reach back out to the companies. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying that's how I've done it with other clients. So,
All right.
but yeah, Tiara, I've known her for a few years. She takes care of a lot of my customers. I know she takes care of the Zumba in Traverse City. She's got a couple other businesses in Traverse City. And a lot of clientele on Torchlight and Elk Lake and Lake Michigan, so.
Well, as I said, I sat through the day park meeting and Bob Hawkins was supposed to follow up with Aniko. And I'm not sure exactly what that status is. So you're right, there were some critical things that Aniko didn't have that the board or the day park committee was going to go back to Aniko and say, here are the things that we think should be included or not included, which is fair. Now, it happens to be that it's similar, but there aren't a lot of qualifications to clean bathrooms. So the idea is Aniko's stuff was more, to your point, personality, because I put up with a lot of that drama.
I've known Aniko for years.
Yeah.
She's cleaned some of my other clients and she doesn't clean them anymore. There's been a lot of drama.
I'm
So-
totally indifferent. So
I do
Quick
want to say,
question.
can I say one more thing before I'm done? The only thing I don't see, and I don't see them from either company, is liability insurance. Me personally, I need to see proof of insurance that you have some. I don't see it for either one of them.
If I can just say, since I've taken over as clerk, there were some companies that didn't have liability insurance. But before anybody starts, I will make sure that we have those.
That's a great call out. And a quick question, just to make sure I'm understanding, because one's listed at $100 per day or $200 on a 2-day or on a 2 per day cleaning. So it's $100 a cleaning. Whereas the other one's $110. So it's slightly less than 10% less, right? Because it's the same
Yep.
number of cleanings as a whole on the schedule.
yeah, that's where they calculated what the
Yeah.
total cost would be.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm not concerned about the price. I just.
Well, yeah, I'm not either. I mean, there aren't a lot of people wanting to go in
No.
there and clean the bathroom.
I
so-
just, I've known, there's just the history.
Well,
Now are you done, Mary? The original contract for Aniko said it was different for the individual day and higher for the weekend too. So it was 220. So I don't even see the weekend one in here in her new contract, but all it says is, it says the fee for each cleaning shall be 110. So that's different than the original contract too. But we all know that it was, that the park can get nasty. I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it myself. That was a question during the interview with Tiara. She said she has seen more than anyone could want to see. And so it's the same for either or. When you say Anako has seen a lot, everybody's seen a lot when you get into public facilities types of things. I seen a lot when I was down there. I cried many times. So I know at the interview, she said she provides all her own insurance right away. That was one thing that was asked immediately, that she provides her own insurance. So that wouldn't be a problem there. I don't know about Anako, what she's got there, so.
Well, I know that supposedly she was taken down to the county and she's gotten the appropriate paperwork or whatever.
But
So-
Bob indicated to us that she does not need insurance. That was emphatically stated to us.
But I did check with the auditor, who absolutely said that she does.
And that's fine. So the question I have is, one of two ways to go. One, we can table this and send it back to the day park committee because it would have been good. Thank you, Rita, for stepping up for them, but both Bob and Virginia were asked to come. So they handled most of the follow-up and negotiations. So we can either table it, or I welcome the board to try to make a decision tonight. And I'll take a motion on one of the contracts.
I mean, if we table it, then we'll have to have a special meeting because
We
the
could
next
have a
meeting will
special
be.
meeting on it, yeah. So it's up to the board.
Well, I'd like to make a motion if anyone else is proposing that. I mean, if that's what you're proposing.
Yeah,
I propose that Tiara Reese get the contract for a day park cleaning bid.
I'll second.
all right. There's been a motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, then the motion reads to approve the cleaning of the day park by, what's the official name again?
Above and beyond.
Above and Beyond. As presented. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, then Mary, will you run a roll call vote, please?
Andy,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Sharon,
We're voting on Up and Beyond, right? Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Mary, yes.
All right, motion passes 5-0.
Want us to leave?
Well, yeah, but I get to make the announcement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People will think you're just getting up.
I told you I had my truck, I never dropped my truck off.
I know that. Wow. All right. Next item is the lawn care of the cemetery, the CSB facility, the South Station, and the day park. The contract is with Lawns Unlimited LLC, which are owned and operated by Jason and Mary. So therefore, they have a conflict, and I asked them to leave the room.
And I'll do a roll call vote.
We'll come get you, maybe. All right, board, any discussion? I can start. We've had a lot of compliments on the appearances of both the cemetery and our facilities, and they're pretty dedicated to doing the work. So I I have no problem with that.
I only have one question, and that is, when they just determine the amount and the rates and so forth, is it, I assume it's scaled based on the property size and complexity of the property?
Right.
Do we have any kind of ability to assess whether it seems reasonable relative to the other things that they do?
Well, it's nothing on a comparative basis, but if I were to look at it, in the budget, they broke out each of the individual line areas.
Yeah, I saw that.
3 of those areas do not have sprinklers. The day park does, so it's going to get cut and trimmed every week. You get in the heat of summer, the other 3 properties might not get as much. So that's really about the only differential. There's, in both facilities, you have trees, and there's a lot of lawn cleanup in the spring and fall cleanup. So, when you get down to it, I think the difficulty is in the cemetery because they
Yeah.
can't be running over the,
Cemetery is very time
Yeah,
consuming.
what's the size of this cemetery?
They just spent
Couple
11
several
hours
acres.
out there over the weekend cleaning and getting it prepped already.
they did 8 hours at the day park.
They estimated 4 hours and they wound up spending 11 hours because it was so badly needed over the long course of the winter.
Yeah.
It's got to be 30, 40 acres at the front side. And of course, we're looking to expand it because we're selling
Yeah,
through
that's
the
right.
lots. So, they do a great job and they're conscientious. He was up there during the winter and people were driving,
Snow
off
plowing.
the trail. Other people coming in with a snow plow, and who knows, they didn't plow up anything, fortunately, but.
Well, they dug into ground that they have to fix, so.
So they're very conscientious.
No, it's a quite detailed proposal, even relative to other ones I've seen for my own yards and so forth, which are pretty sizable back in Oregon, so.
Last year, I put it out in the Antrim paper, Elk. I think it was Traverse as well. We did one. week.
Several advertisements all over.
I got 0. So, the nice thing about policy is that once we have somebody that performs and does things, we don't have to go back out there. So in this particular case, I think it's worth our time to renew their agreement. So I will make that motion to approve the contract of Lawns Unlimited LLC for lawn services at the CSB building.
And
South
that's,
Fi-
go ahead.
South Fire Station Cemetery in Barnes Park, Day Park, in the amount of $34,200.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Andy. It has been moved and seconded to approve the contract of Lawns Unlimited LLC for lawn services at the CSB Building, South Fire Station Cemetery in Barnes Park, Day Park, in the amount of $34,200. Any further discussion?
Have none.
Hearing none, you want to run the roll call vote?
Roll call vote, Bob?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
And Sharon, yes.
Rita, would you go get them for me? All right, board.
For your minutes.
Oh, no, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that.
That takes care of new business. Board discussion, we have nothing this month. We have nothing for informational purposes. We move to the second citizen comment. Please stay within your 4 minutes. And if your comment relates to anything on the agenda, then it will not be allowed. So,
I'm going to save Jemima for last. Let's hear from Mary Lee Bretz about the Naquima Trail and its value to our community.
Hi, my name's Mary Lee Brutz, and I like to say I live in downtown Eastport. I love this area, but for me, one of the real disadvantages of being here has been the need to drive pretty much everywhere, even to places that I should be able to walk. I'm a dedicated walker. I wave at people as they go by, maybe some of you at different times. I've walked this area for 25 years with my dogs, my friends, my children, and my grandchildren. Unfortunately, it's not a safe place to walk. Crossing US 31, even in the off-season low traffic times, is a challenge. And when my grandchildren have asked to go to Barnes Park or over to Lake Michigan, I usually felt it was safer to drive them, even though it's less than a mile. There's no safe way to walk to Eastport Market, no safe way to walk or ride to the preserve or the day park without crossing private property. These are all places my children, grandchildren, and children like to visit, and that I would much prefer to walk to on foot or on bike or even on cross-country skis. The proposed Nokwama Trail with the trailhead, the new trailhead at the newly purchased land on the corner of 31 and Barnes Park Road is a tremendous opportunity to enhance the walkability and the bikeability of our area. It would also link the two hamlets of Eastport and Torch Lake Village in a way that I think would help to create a much better sense of community. It would allow township residents to bike to the Antrim Creek Natural Area, another gem in our local park system. We have a rather easy possibility here to improve the quality of life of our area, as well as the health and safety of our residents and our families. I hope you understand the importance of this project, and I urge you to move ahead with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Maureen Lorenz, library update, question mark.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. This is Maureen Lorenz, and I'm 2715 Bay Harbor Club Drive, just around the corner. Yeah, I'm just asking, haven't heard, when I think the March 18th, we had a presentation and it was left that you would discuss the contract to see if there was any way it could be worked out. And just wondering if it's going to go forward.
I'll give you during the board comment.
You pardon?
I'll respond to you at board comment.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, let's hear from Jairus Rubing, please, and thank you.
Jairus Rubin, County Commissioner. The ice storm is kind of front and center in Antrim County right now. The Road Commission had a special meeting last week, I believe, and they are approving a contract to hire some professional help in regards to cutting leaning trees and cleaning up massive amounts of branches and pine tops. They allocated up to $350,000. Star Township, Mansalona Township, and Banks Township were hit extremely hard. Fortunately, the rest of our county has minor compared to those. Banks and Star, I know personally, had constituents that were out of power for 9 to 10 days. So Frisky's right up the road was one of them. They were out for 9 days. And Star Township had several that were the same. Other than that, we're still fortunate because Otsego County and Charlevoix County got hit the majority of the county. And I was recently informed that there's approximately 1 million acres of state land in northern Michigan where the pines look like toothpicks now. So it was very devastating for the areas that had a lot of ice. Our county commissioner meeting coming up, we have our Antrim County Equalization Report. Same as last year, Torch Lake Township is the third highest valued township in Antrim County. The average for Antrim County growth in tentative taxable value was 7.34% increase. Torch Lake Township's growth was 6.98. Milton Township is number one. They've been number one. Elk Rapids Township is number two, and Torch Lake Township is number three. Torch Lake Township taxable value last year was $362,900,000, and this year is $388,219,000. So the equalization report is on the Antrim County website under the commissioner packet. If anybody wants to see it, it's about a 15-page report. I frequently get questions from townships about where their taxable value is and how much it's grown. Central Lake Township grew 5.7. And let's see what else is around here. Banks Township grew 8.5. Elk Rapids grew 7.29. So
I bring that up at the budget hearing for the township. I go through those numbers so people understand how little our tax dollars come back to us and they all go to the county, just to bring that up.
Yep.
You can take that back to the commissioner.
Yeah.
I think we're maybe at 9 cents on every dollar coming back.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
sure the county is very happy with that number.
Yeah.
And the schools.
Well, it's all one of the same in my book.
Yes,
It's money
County
out-
and schools.
Money paid in the township that doesn't stay in the township.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank
have
you.
one question. I watched your last commission meeting, and I want to say kudos to the road commission, because when Bert came to this podium, it's Lakes of the North area that was so devastatedly hit that they were sending out, they actually brought in guards, troopers that from the Michigan State.
Michigan National Guard, yep.
Came out, and they were going house to house and checking on people, leaving something on every door as they went, so they didn't duplicate. And I know that Lakes of the North going into Otsego County was severely devastated, but I know that the sheriff's department went door to door also. I did get a message from the sheriff tonight that he wasn't able to make tonight's meeting, and I'm not doing this because he's not here, but I listened to him also at your commissioners meeting, and the report that they gave, and the efforts and the hard work that they went out, and kudos to every single one of them. That's all I want to say.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from Jemima Rubing.
Hello, my name is Jemima Rubin, and I'm from Banks Township. And I was reading my schoolwork, and I saw a medieval proverb in it, and it's called, "All for the want of a nail." All for the want of a nail, a shoe was lost. All for the want of a shoe, a horse was lost. All for the want of a horse, a rider was lost. All for the want of a rider, a battle was lost. All for the want of a battle, a kingdom was lost. All for the want of a nail.
Very good.
That's good.
Thank you. Do we have any others?
Oh, that's it.
All right. Board comment. Sharon, if you
I have
start.
nothing.
Okay. Mary?
I have nothing.
Andy?
Only that I failed to mention in the planning commission report that the one component you asked about, the rec plan being part of it, we're also going to step back and consider the air park as well. That was a discussion that came up a couple years ago. It's been kind of just sitting out there. Obviously, there's a lot going on, and that's fine. But just we're going to make sure that it's referenced in part of the plan and considered in it.
Yeah, that was brought up 3 years ago, at the time he wanted to change the zoning out there, so, yep. Jason?
Nope.
Nope, all right. So I will answer the question on the library. No meetings were held, none were scheduled. We had a number of email exchanges. There was going to be no change in the contract that was presented. Therefore, there was no need to have further discussions on it. So as of this moment, that item is closed. Other than that, I have nothing else. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Make motion. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. The motion's made, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. 7:45.
Meeting's adjourned.